Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as you guys know, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith made some major waves this week with Shannon Sharpe's debut on ESPN First Take. It was highly anticipated before he even came on that show. Maybe the Friday before the weekend, before he debuted this Monday, they released a podcast. That podcast, I believe, in 2 days generated over 1.6 or 1.7 million views. Like, it generated a ton of views. They had individual segments when they were arguing over who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And I believe all of this obviously was calculated. It was a primer to get people ready for their show on Monday. So what happened? Shannon Sharpe debuts on Monday. They have an electrifying show, although some people want to hold on to the fact that he called Stephen A. Smith skip 2 times. And then the following day, Stephen A. Smith did something which I thought was absolutely hilarious. He went and got a name sticker where he put Stephen A. Smith so Shannon Sharpe would not make the same mistake. So that was pretty hilarious too, right? Pretty hilarious. And then yesterday we produced a show around the numbers that came out yesterday, which had to do with the ratings surrounding that show. And essentially what happened was, the debut of Shannon Sharpe on ESPN First Take actually generated record-breaking numbers. And I want to read a little bit. Yeah, we want to read a little bit. What is it? From thespun.com. And basically, the article starts off with the headline saying TV viewership numbers for Shannon Sharpe's First Take debut emerge. On Monday, Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe made his debut on ESPN's First Take. That episode turned out to be a massive hit with the general public. According to Front Office Sports, this Monday's episode of First Take averaged 754,000 viewers. That made it the second most watched episode of the year for ESPN's debate show. ESPN ratings for Sharpe's debut episode on First Take trumped FS1's Undisputed, which had 215,000 viewers that day. Clearly, sports fans were eager to see how Shannon Sharpe would interact with Stephen A. Smith, especially after spending 7 years debating Skip Bayless. ESPN's TV ratings for First Take could receive another boost fairly soon. Pat McAfee is expected to join Smith and Sharpe every Tuesday on First Take. Per the same report from Front Office Sports, his loyal fan base will most likely want to hear what he has to say on that platform. And then the article goes on to say a few other things. I also read that the second episode, or the second show, which was the Tuesday show, generated over 500,000. I mean, crazy stuff. 500,000 live viewers tuned in to listen. To that exchange there that Stephen A. Smith had with Shannon Sharpe on ESPN. ESPN First Take. So this morning, I was doing some research, and I came across an article from, awfulannouncing.com that absolutely floored me, because I couldn't believe what I was actually reading. And I want to read this article to you because I think a lot of you are going to be surprised by this. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me get into what this article says here. It says, Stephen A. Smith hints at Shannon Sharpe being the successor on First Take. What I want to do is now, even before reading that article, let me put up the tweet that Stephen A. Smith put up, the post. If you go to his Instagram page, he shared this a day ago. It reads, Front Office Sports Shannon Sharpe position as perfect successor to Stephen A. Smith. Smith has only 2 years left on his current deal and is eyeing entertainment, politics, and acting. Sharpe will get revenge on Skip Bayless regardless, joining a show with an audience nearly 3 times the size of Undisputed by Mark McCarthy, and this was published on August 24, 2023. Stephen A. Smith posts this, and then he only at Shannon Sharpe. Now let me get to the article. Article says Shannon Sharpe signed on with ESPN to be on ESPN, to be an ESPN First Take contributor, but he also might be Stephen A. Smith's successor in waiting. Last month, Michael McCarthy wrote an article for the Front Office Sports speculating that Sharpe could eventually take over for Smith on ESPN First Take. Thursday night, Smith shared the article on social media about 2 weeks after it was written, and Friday morning, Sharpe did the same. Even without offering any additional insight or context, Smith and Sharpe sharing the article gave credence to the speculation. After parting ways with FS1 and Skip Bayless on Undisputed, Sharpe signed a deal with ESPN to join Smith on First Take every Monday, Tuesday during NFL season. Even though Sharpe is now amongst a lengthy cast of rotating contributors that also includes Chris Mad Dog Russo, JJ Redick, Mark Spears, Ryan Clark, and Pro Football Hall of Famer is undisputedly the most seasoned debate artist on the show after spending the last 7 years alongside Bayless. But Smith didn't share any article that portrayed Sharpe as his toughest opponent on First Take. He shared a headline that named Sharpe his possible successor. For that to be true, Smith would have been gearing up to exit the show. What are my thoughts on this? Number one, there could be some truth to this, and I'll tell you why. The reason I'm saying that there could be some truth to this is based on the things that I've seen Stephen A. Smith do and based off of some of the things that I've seen Stephen A. Smith say. Stephen A. Smith has gone on various shows to talk politics. I've seen him on Fox News. I've seen him on other shows. Stephen A. Smith has also been known to be an actor, I think for the show General Hospital, but he's not an actor per se. But he has expressed some interest in that. Stephen A. Smith has also said on numerous occasions that he would love to get into the late night hosting business where he's just not relegated to talking sports. And he's also said that he has a larger range of interests that go beyond sports. If you follow the Stephen A. Smith podcast, he talks about the NBA, he talks about the NFL, he talks about societal issues, and he talks about politics. He's also talking about things on that podcast that he cannot talk about on ESPN because ESPN is a highly regulated platform. And there's certain things you can say and there's certain things you cannot say. So if an opportunity was presented to Stephen A. Smith where he could pursue other things that he's interested in, such as, I don't know, if he wants to be a late night host of some television show, I think he would jump at the opportunity because I don't think he is someone that has said he's going to be in the sports media landscape for the rest of his career. This is something that he himself has said. So if an opportunity is presented to him, I think he may jump at that. Number two, Shannon Sharpe has never hosted his own show. he's always been an addition to somebody else's show. That's the role he played on FS1. That is the role he's going to be playing now. And who knows in the future if Shannon Sharpe would be willing to take on the challenge of playing a role that Stephen A. Smith is playing currently. Now, can Shannon Sharpe talk about a range of different sports? Yes. We know he can talk about the NFL for sure. We know he can talk about the NBA. Those are already two of the three biggest sports leagues in the United States. And then, of course, you have the MLB. You have other things. But Shannon Sharpe has proven that he has the work ethic to be able to develop the knowledge in those other fields, to go out there and feel comfortable enough to talk about different sports on television. And if he's playing the same role of Stephen A. Smith, he could bring in experts in those fields that have a 100% grasp on the topic, and he can now kind of react to some of the things that they're saying, where he doesn't have to be the predominant or the authority rather on the subject matter. So I think that Shannon Sharpe has shown that he has the ability to learn different skill sets. Number two, why would it make sense for Shannon? Shannon and ESPN First Take. Well, number one, Shannon Sharpe, according to some of the research that we've conducted, has the most popular podcast in the category that his podcast is in. So Shannon Sharpe has a huge following. You saw the bump that he was able to bring to the show on his debut when he generated when the show generated over 750 something thousand viewers, 754,000 viewers that day, and it was the second highest rated show of the year. So he's shown that he can bring in an audience. He's shown that. So to me, I wouldn't be surprised if Shannon Sharpe ultimately in the future, if he was offered that position, would do it. And I don't think that Stephen A. Smith is somebody that would be against that, as long as he has something that he's leaning into. For him to be spending as much time as he's spending on his podcast, given the fact that he's a full-time employee of ESPN, but still going out there and putting forth the effort to go and do a 1 hour, 1.5 hour, sometimes 2 hour show, it shows you that he's already thinking beyond ESPN. And what he may be doing is leveraging the platform that he currently is working for to build his audience, which is smart. Which is very, very smart. That's the same thing that Shannon Sharpe did at FS1. The only person that I saw come into the system without being on television and then took his profile to another level was JJ Redick with The Old Man and the Three. JJ Redick already had a successful podcast before he got to ESPN. And then when he got to ESPN, he had the constant visibility of being on that large platform. And then it catapulted his podcast into a totally different realm. So to me, although they didn't make any comments about this, yes, obviously there's a possibility that they could be poking fun at the public, like, let's just post this out there and have a laugh while we sit here having a Coke and eating some peanuts or whatever it is, and let's just laugh at people's reaction. Obviously, that could be a possibility, but what I do know for a fact is that Stephen A. Smith is interested in other things other than sports. He likes politics. If he could run for some type of political office, he would do it. I honestly believe he would. So if an opportunity presented itself, like let's say maybe Fox News was willing to give him his own talk show, I think he would do it. I think he would roll the dice and do it and do something else. He's already making a boatload of money every single year, so it's not like as if he's starving for money. It's not like saying, oh my God, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be broke for the rest of my life. He's a multi-millionaire. So I don't think money is the issue. I think maybe he's just getting bored of doing the same thing for going on 3 decades. And for Shannon Sharpe, it would be a new challenge. And Shannon Sharpe has already proven that he is a star. Like, whatever we think about him, he's a star. Like, whatever it is, he has it. I may disagree with his LeBron views. Apart from that, the guy he has it. Like, he has it. If you're going to name 5 people in sports media, you got to name Shannon Sharpe in there as well. Whether you like it or not, he got it. So, obviously, a lot of this is speculation, but for Stephen A. Smith to even put it out there, it says something. Obviously, he could be poking fun at front office sports. I don't know. But for him to even give it the time of day and to post it on his social media page, it says something. right? Is it going to happen? No one knows. But the question I have for the audience is simply this. Could you see a scenario in which Stephen A. Smith moves on from ESPN and Shannon Sharpe gets a more elevated position at the network, kind of similar to what Pat McAfee's doing? Because I saw an episode, no, not an episode. I saw a live stream on YouTube. I believe it was yesterday, day before yesterday, because you guys know Pat McAfee is on ESPN now. I couldn't believe what the hell I was seeing. It was a live stream on YouTube TV or something like that. And they had 58,000 live viewers. 58,000 live viewers. 58,000. That was just on YouTube. To put that into context, one of the low days of FS1 this week, their low day, I think they got 74,000 viewers to tune into that show. That was just on YouTube. Imagine the views he was getting on live TV. He got 58,000. Imagine Shannon Sharpe pulling something like that, and he could do it. You bloody better believe he could do it. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think this is something that could happen, or do you think it's just smoke and mirrors? This will never happen. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.